Trump and Larry Fink flipped the system on us. Now I'm going to break down the facts, figures, numbers, logic, and how I am personally navigating through this by 2030. Since 2020, I've taken you down the whole journey on exactly what I've done. But remember, this is just my opinion. This is not financial advice. Do your own research. But I am going to tell you how this has affected my family financially and the exact patterns that I've created and what I'm going to do by 2030. You should make your own decisions. But you got to understand that Larry Fink and Trump told you that Bitcoin was a fraud. It was used for money laundering. Jamie Dimon, the same thing. It was the exact same narrative. Kind of like those CNN things where you see the reporters say the same thing. It was this narrative from 2017 heavy up until 2023. Now I'm going to take you back to 2009. I'm going to try to do this as quick as possible because I only have 10 minutes. I know that's a long time for you, but if you pay attention, most of you won't make it till the end. It's very important to understand this. It's 2009. Bitcoin was created right after the biggest financial collapse in history, in our living history, the US housing collapse. Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa came together to de-dollarize because of the West's irresponsible management of our banking system. It's right there on their website. Their job, they were wanting to detach from the Western dominance of the dollar, which is fiat, fake. We use it to weaponize other countries to control their monetary system. In 2009, this is really important, write this down, Bitcoin is created by a pseudonymous person who created a code that basically has it's just energy that has a fixed supply of 21 million. It cannot be printed. It's going to be mined for 116 years, 450 a day is mined, and it has now become one of the most scarce assets in the world. Now it's being touted as digital gold. 2012, Rosie Rios, who sits on the board of directors for Ripple, hint Ripple XRP, was told she's the 43rd treasurer of the United States, last person to sign a $100 bill. This is how I make my financial decisions, not riddlers, not hype, not bullshit, off of facts, figures, numbers, logic. So in 2012, she was told to reduce coin and cash usage, but she couldn't, she said, because Obama turned the rescue plan on, and that turned the printing machine on full blast. And she said, you need a shock to the system to change consumer behaviors. Well, we all together went through a shock in the system in 2020 to 2022, the pandemic, worldwide shock to the system. A small example is my mom went from writing checks, still balancing her checkbook, baby boomer, going to her local bank every Friday, to her bank shutting down, to using online banking, to investing in cryptocurrency. You need a shock to the system to change consumer behaviors. Pay attention, this is deeper than people think. She was told to reduce coin and cash usage. She said she was responsible for signing the last $100 bill and responsible for bringing in a new wave of currency. She sits on the board of Ripple, which created XRP. Then XRP came around 2012, 2013, which created distributed ledger technology. XRP, one of the greatest technologies to transform the broken fiat system, the broken monetary system that has so much trapped liquidity in it. So much trapped liquidity in it that is all debt. So remember, going back to the narrative,